Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm very honored to speak here today, and I want to thank the Geneva Summit for giving me the opportunity to break a taboo about a horrible practice. When I was 9 years old, I was on vacation with my father's family in Côte d'Ivoire when my aunt told me we had been invited to a party. I was happy to go. But when we got inside, it wasn't a party. They put me in a line of young girls, some just 3 years old. One by one, they were called inside, invited inside. A few minutes later, they came out hysterical crying. What was happening? The other girl didn't know. Finally, it was my turn. I walked inside, and 4 women seized me immediately. They slammed me to the ground, yanked off my pants and my underwear, took out a knife, and cut deep into my vagina. I could not stop crying. It was the worst pain I had ever felt in my life. Tears streamed down my face and blood flowed from me. At the time, I didn't know what was female genital mutilation. I didn't know the part of me that had cut out was my clitoris and how that will impact my life as a mature woman. My mutilation was followed by silence. I didn't tell to my mother. Months later, my grandmother told her she was happy and confident that I had been mutilated. My grandmother told her that I will be a good wife for my future husband. Today, I live in France, where I run an organization called Les Orchidées Rouges, in English, the Red Orchids. And the one thing I hear again and again is, oh, that is just an African problem, an outdated tribal practice that doesn't happen here in Europe. But I'm here to tell you that you are wrong. FGM is a problem worldwide. 200 million women and girls have received FGM around the world. In Asian countries like India, Thailand, Indonesia, or Pakistan, in African countries like Senegal, Côte d'Ivoire, Guinea, Somalia, and Ethiopia, in Arab states like Iraq, Yemen, and Oman, in Russia, and in diaspora communities worldwide. So, if you think your country isn't affected by FGM, you are wrong. In France, where I live, FGM is illegal, and anyone caught performing the procedure faces 10-year imprisonment and 150,000 euro fine. But it doesn't matter that it is illegal. The practice happens behind closed doors, in secret, often on holiday. I have met countless European women whose parents took them abroad to visit relatives. And like me, they returned home traumatized with black-soaked underwear. So you might hear the practice called female circumcision, but don't be deceived. FGM is not the equivalent of cutting off the foreskin. It will be as if we cut off a man's entire penis. In fact, some girls aren't just mutilated. They are sewn shut, and then it is the duty of their husband to open their vagina when they are married. It is a brutal, heavy form of torture, and it has long-lasting consequences into adulthood. When I was 22 years old, I met an Italian man, and we decided to have sex. As soon as he saw me naked, he stopped me. "Where is your clitoris?" he said me. "You cannot be a real woman if you don't have a clitoris." He couldn't get over it, and I couldn't get over that feeling of being a half woman, of being inferior, undesirable, and broken. It haunted me for years. Then, in 2016, I read in a story in a magazine about a girl who, like me, had undergone surgery to repair a clitoris. On December 7, 2016, I had a genital reconstructive surgery. I called that day my second birthday, because when I woke up from the anesthesia, I was a different woman, smiling and serene. That same year, I founded Les Orchidées Rouges to fight for the eradication of female genital mutilation, forced and early marriage, and other types of gender-based violence. Since 2020, we have offered free therapy, treatment, and support to 650 survivors of FGM at our institutes in France and in Côte d'Ivoire. By reconstructing themselves physically, psychologically, and sexually, survivors gain the self-confidence to follow their personal and professional dreams. And the same is true for me. Today, I'm with a loving mom. I'm the mom to an incredible son, and I have never been more confident in myself and in my body. Through my organization, I have met hundreds of survivors, their families, and even cutters. And I have realized that the most important thing you can do right now is to spread awareness about the horrors of female genital mutilation. Tell people that it is not just a West African problem, that there are 500,000 survivors in Europe alone, that every minute 6 little girls are mutilated, that among FGM victims, 1 in 4 dies immediately or later in their life, and that it might be a long-standing cultural practice, but we cannot stand for it any longer. People say it has been done since the Pharaoh's time. Who are we to say that our ancestors was wrong? I say that our ancestors was human beings just like us. We can honor our ancestors and choose a more humane path for ourselves, for our families, and our children. No woman or child deserves to go through what I went through. Female genital mutilation must stop now. Thank you.